So, welcome, Grandad, John Taylor, one of my heroes. I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart as well. You're a great mentor of mine. And the reason why I'm sitting down with you having a conversation today is because of that you have so much wisdom and to offer in the health and fitness world. You're doing great things, and the biggest thing is that there's no ego in what you're doing. It's humble to say that. You probably won't say that because it contradict what I just said, so which will lead me into my first question. And where do you see everything going in the next 5 years, and what do you think that needs to be changed within the health and fitness world, first of all, as a general?
Well, I think generally it's now, and I think it's totally accepted worldwide, that people more than ever need to be exercising and going to gyms and doing whatever, whether that be in the gymnasium, doing aerobics, weight training, martial arts, whatever is a paramount cause, because it's simply that in my day, people got more general exercise at workplaces. There weren't so many cars, but now people go down the street, they hop in their car, they sit at a desk all day, or they're behind a computer. There's no physical exercise in their normal day. And of course, with the advent of fast food, and people are eating badly, so all in all, it's more paramount that people do some kind of exercise.
And that you just touched on that. Then it's like, well, there's a lot of people that forcefully go into a gym, and they don't really last that long in a gym with that mentality, because they might be not suited to the gym. So, which leads me into my question of, in martial arts, I believe, has a strong impact in people's lives. What impact do you think that it has in people's lives?
I think, I can't speak from a Kyokushin karate point of view, but it makes them very rounded, and we teach them that even though we're teaching a violent sport, that we're not violent people, and that fitness, health, and the many benefits that come from exercise and karate in particular, and what you should be seeking, not to be able to get out and actually fight. And some of the things you get is self-discipline, which is very important to your everyday life. I mean, I've had lots of people tell me over the years that that's probably the most important thing they got out of it. That when things got difficult in their life, they had the self-discipline and determination to follow through. I think that's good. They have certainly, and I think this is one of the main things, that karate is a long-term thing. I was in South Africa recently, and the South African government is very much into supporting the martial arts. And I asked the Minister of Sports why they're doing that, and he said because they tried putting a lot of money into soccer, and soccer's a wonderful game, of course. The problem with it was that the young men, and there's a massive unemployment in South Africa amongst young men, if they didn't make the team, they simply dropped out. So they'd go into soccer, and 6 months later, a huge amount of them was again back in the streets. Whereas the martial arts is such a long-term thing that they get involved for many years, and that's what the government want. They want them off the streets, doing physical activities, giving them motivation in life, and he felt that the martial arts, and in my case karate, but the general martial arts did that for them.
Yeah, and you touched on motivation just then. I feel that you're driven by purpose. So, but just for people out there, how do you continue to stay motivated when you've been doing it for so long, and you've achieved everything that you've?
Well, first of all, I promised myself when I started that I would only train as long as I was enjoying it, and I still have that philosophy today. I love being in the karate class. I like teaching people. I like to see how it changes and improves their lives, and that's still a real passion for me. And but most of all, I just want it to be good at karate. I mean, I'm now one of the highest graded people in the world, but that was just coincidence that happened. I never went out with that intent. I just wanted to enjoy myself and be good at karate, and the rest, 50 years later, just follows.
Yeah, and because you touched on you're one of the highest graded people in karate, if not the highest graded person in the karate world. How do you stay so grounded like that? You know, in it's ego-driven world now that everyone's. I just want to go out and I'm the best, you know. And I just think that me personally, our generation and future generations got to lose that ego. So how do you continue to stay grounded and drop that ego?
Well, because you get all these as you get older and you're a long time in karate, you get all these titles and gradings. But essentially, I just see myself as a karate instructor, and I don't feel. I just feel I'm there with one of the people in there. I just happen to be the one that's taking the class. And we have that in the Kyokushin. I mean, for example, now we have the current female world champion in my karate school, and she's a wonderful young lady and a great attribute to our karate dojo. And when she won the world championship, she came back, and of course everybody applauded and made a fuss, and so they should. However, when we said line up, she just got back in the line. She just went back as one of the people in the class. She didn't expect to be any particular station. She didn't expect to come to the front of the class, or no. She just felt she was. Once she dropped back in the class, she was just another student.
Yeah, and I think that's great to have that concept. That's the self-discipline in itself, not having to shout your name once you've achieved something, and to be at service. And is that where you think that you're?
Yeah, yes. You've got to contribute, and everybody contribute. Everybody, of course, can't be world champion, and everybody can't be a karate teacher, but everybody contributes by their own attendance and their own being and helping the kids or whatever it is. It's karate is all encompassing, that everybody can get a lot out of it, and they can also contribute a lot to it.
And so, just a bit of a deep question, I guess. There's two statistics that are floating around. And this is what I'm doing this summit for. Is where there's more information out there, and we're still at 60% obesity rate, and 1 out of 2 people are anxious or have had some form of depression. What advice do you reckon any words of wisdom, how do you think we could drop that statistic?
Well, first of all, they've got to, and I think this is where the problem is, they're not careful enough about the exercise they decide to do. And they go into a gymnasium, they find that boring. I mean, when I was a young man, I did a lot of running, but which I hated. I hated doing the running, but I would do it every day, regardless, because I knew it was good for my karate training. But if I had just decided I wanted to just go out running, I wouldn't have lasted 6 months, because I'd find it totally boring. So I think they need to pick something they really like, and I was very fortunate that I stumbled upon something that I walked into the karate school and I fell in love with it on the first night, and I'm still in love with it. And that's, I think, you need to do that. You find something you really enjoy doing. Once you do that, going to the training, turning up is a pleasure. It's not a chore. Once you make it a chore, it's short-lived.
Yeah, move along. Yeah, exactly right.
Then you go from exercise to gymnasium to something else, to martial arts, and it happens all the time. People come in, they've done all these exercises, and they didn't like them. You've got to really like what you do.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that, because I did a marathon last year, and I only gave myself about 28 days of preparation, so I was just running all the time and trying to get the Ks under my belt just to finish this marathon. I ended up doing the Sydney Marathon, and after that I'm like, I'm not even going to run again I didn't think I'd run for about 4 months after, so that continuous enjoyment. What I find is, though, that people seem to dabble a lot more in things, and I think that's what's the cause of a lot of these issues for, like people want to do karate 1 minute and they want to try this because it's the latest buzz.
That's right. Yeah.
So what do you think you could give any advice on for those people? How can we stick to that one thing? Is it just love, or do you have to kid yourself into loving that one thing, or do you have to set a goal? Or
I think first of all you should make sure you look at everything, look at the different activities first. Don't get taken in by the hype.
Yeah.
Don't think about hype. I mean, karate in itself has got a hype. You go do see a karate demonstration. They're breaking tiles and bricks and leaping over people, and of course when they do this sparring with each other, they do all the flash techniques, and it gives you a short insight in karate. But that's our hype.
Yeah.
That's what we do to demonstrate our skills to the outside world. But when you come into the karate school, you've got a lot of basics to learn. You've got to go through a lot of, hard training to get your fitness up. And we consistently push you to broaden your horizons. We'll never let you sit comfortable. We'll always try to drive you that bit further in as nice a way as we can. But we're not going to let you sit there and just get your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And we've got to push you out and drive you forward, and you need to do that to yourself.
And I agree with that. I think that when I see success with my own clients who I had when I was doing personal training, is that they are consistently push their outside their comfort zone. And I think that why I feel people get anxious and depressed, because that's just them outside their comfort zone and they don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. We get it. I said we get it all the time. People, they say, there's a grading system in karate, and then they say, I'll just stay where I am. I'll go, no.
Yeah.
No. And they go, well, what do you expect? So, well, you've either got to do the grading or you waste time being here.
Yeah, exactly right.
We're not going to put into it. And we actually don't care whether they're grading or what we do care about is whether they're pushing themselves.
Yeah.
Whether they're striving to be that little bit faster, that little bit better, that little bit stronger, that little bit more disciplined.
Yeah.
We care about that. We don't care whether they stay white belts or get some, we like to see them succeed, of course, but that's not our main priority.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's like almost setting an agreement with yourself every day to continuously work on that form of discipline. So if you were to have a set 3 to 5 things that you would do every day to continue that discipline, so then when you come and see you in a karate class, you're just continuing, that you're continuously excelling. So what are some of those things that we could...
Well, the hardest thing about any training is turning up.
Yeah.
And I discovered quite a long time ago, just by accident, somebody worked with another interview, and they said, question camp, and I realized that I didn't have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in my mind. When it comes to days, actually, I knew what day was by the training I was doing.
Yeah.
So, because on different days you do different things and so forth. So I sort of got in my mind to do, on Monday I do this, Tuesday I do that, and just setting that time aside every week and doing that and turning up is simply the most hardest thing to do.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because it's easy to get distracted.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was young and single and running around, my friends would say, there's a party on, you want to go to the party? I say, no, I'm going to train. And because you can party anytime.
Yeah.
You can only train for so long.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I turned up to the party after.
And what I'm noticing, exactly what you just said then, the commonality between the conversations I'm having with true successful people is that they skip those moments of socializing and they're working on their craft continuously, you know. And that's, I reckon that's an important message, because it's just not, people think these days that you just have to do it overnight, don't they? And it's going to happen overnight, but it's not just continuously working on your craft.
Probably the most thing that I found was, for myself, is I don't put a but into my life.
Okay.
For example, if you, it's a simplistic example, if you want to study, but you want to train, so you simply replace the buts with an and. It solves everything in your life.
Yeah.
Because if you have a study and you want to go to the beach, you study at the beach.
Yeah, exactly right.
So if you replace all the buts in your life with ands, your life will run very well.
That is honestly one of the key things, you know. I reckon I've been told that as well, by the way. And there was another analogy that someone used, that if you use the word but, it just takes it out what you just said previous. Right. So the girl is beautiful but tall.
And the story that goes with that, which I wasn't necessarily, is everything everything before the but is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I say, Liam, I love you. Yeah. You're the greatest person in the world. Yeah. But.
Oh God, here we go.
So now all that is of no consequence, is it?
Yeah,
but
exactly
you're a
right.
pain in the ass.
Yeah. Hey, that's true though.
Yeah, so leave out the but.
Yeah, exactly right.
And at the same time, say, and this is kind of part of talking about that. Say, Liam, I love you. You're greatest person. I even know. And we're talking about you.
Yeah.
But it all fits, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It's not taking away the fact that I love you.
Yeah.
It's not taking away that you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
But you can be a pain.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. No buts.
No buts.
Just ends.
Yeah, exactly right.
And all your life will be fixed.
Yeah, and I like that. And I agree with that. In that language is such an important, you know, way you look at your life. You know, just using certain words that you can almost see what's going on in the inside of someone by the language they're using.
That's right.
And just by changing that one word.
One word, yeah.
You know, that almost sets it, or does. It doesn't almost. It sets the agreement in itself.
Within yourself.
Yeah.
So if it's on inside you, okay, get rid of the buts, put in ands, and your life will work.
Yeah, it's like I'm good at karate and I'm gonna get better. You know, and I'm good at karate, but it doesn't work out, does it? So, that's awesome. So there's so many insights in that conversation. Tell everyone where we can find you, how we can access you more.
Well, I'm in Bondi Junction in Sydney, and you can get me on. You can get a karate school on Eastern Suburbs Karate.com.au.
Awesome. Thank you, Grandad. John Taylor, you're a genius. Thank you so much.
Thank you.